Cathaoirleach.
Margaret Féin, Senator Dolan.
Margaret Cathaoirleach. I want to first thank heartfully all involved in the commemorations of the first Dáil yesterday. It was a magnificent and very fitting event. I was privileged to be part of it as a member of the Seanad. Never thought that would happen. The Seanad was recently saved by a referendum, but if it wasn't for the determination and steel of those people 100 years ago, there might neither have been a Dáil nor a Seanad. I think that's worth remembering. It was also a moving and personal occasion for me because I grew up hearing about one member of the first Dáil, a man named Phil Shanahan, from a small place, Foyle Macduff in Hollyford, County Tipperary. My late mother, Judy, was my teacher and instructor in relation to Phil. Her family, the Daverns, were fast friends of the Shanahans in Hollyford, and I was delighted yesterday to meet Phil's great-grandniece, there to remember Phil, Emer Faharta. What my mother told me was of his lifelong commitment, the sacrifices he made, the family members, particularly his sister Sarah, hunger strike, his generosity, going from being a comfortable publican here in Dublin to his death in November 31 in poor circumstances. He was in Jacob's factory with MacDonagh. His pub in the heart of Monto was a home from home and a meeting place for other Republicans. I spent last Saturday night with his grandnephew Rémy Shanahan, the same place where Phil returned to spend his last years before his death. I saw the treasure trove of documents, papers, memorabilia, and the talk into the night. It struck this senator that in the Seanad we should consider some way that we might be a focal point to remember, honour and promote a better understanding of the actual lives of these people, their motivation, their family circumstances, their interests, their places of origin, their families and their comrades. The downgrading of history was mentioned yesterday in the Mansion House, and such a focus as this, possibly carried out maybe throughout the year, could act to reignite the curiosity and the interest of young and indeed not so young in the actual lives of these ordinary people who did extraordinary things and gave us a legacy that we have a responsibility to live up to. I'd be happy to support any such initiative, and I'm simply asking the leader, would he consider something along these lines? In conclusion, Phil was a Teachta Dála for Dublin Harbour. He actually beat the unbeatable Alfie Byrne to take that seat. But there were four other Tipperary men, Pearse McGann, who died in March that year from the flu, Seamus Burke, who went on to be a minister in Cosgrave's government, Joseph MacDonagh, brother of Thomas, and P.J. Maloney, like myself from Tipperary town, who had his home burnt out. These are just small little anecdotes of the lives of what I call ordinary people who did extraordinary things, and we might consider some ways throughout the year to give some impetus to that. Margaret.